Welcome, everybody. My name is Susan Bechara. This is our first session with my talk show called Get to the Point. I'm glad that you can join us, and today I have excellent guests that is going to be sharing their personal stories and passion, and this is what the talk is about. And just keeping it honest, tell the truth and nothing but the truth, and no one is going to judge you. And I have I like to start my show with a special verse every time because we are a nation under God. So the first thing is to help tell you all to have a beautiful new year this year. And this is the verse that I'm going to be sharing today. It's from Chronicle 2, verse 14. And it says it's very, very relevant for our nation today. If my people pray to me, repent, and turn away from the evil they have been doing, then I will hear them from heaven, forgive their sins, and I will heal their land. And this is what we're praying for in this station. And for those of you who may not want to be agreeing in what the point is about, we're talking about healing of nation. Regardless what your belief is, I'm sure that God created good people, and we all want to heal the land that we live in. So let's get to the point. And my first guest is going to be Connie Clendenan, a good friend of mine.
Hi, Susan. Get to the point. You got to it right there.
Yes, right there.
Second Chronicles. Way to go.
That's right, Connie. So, Connie, I am so glad that you're joining me today.
My pleasure.
I am so excited. We've been friends for how many years now?
Oh, I think about 25 or 30.
Oh, my goodness. We had fun, didn't we?
We were younger then.
That's right. Yes.
Now we're wiser.
Yes, that is so true. Well, I'm just so glad that you came because I know that you've been very involved in this community for quite a while. I've known you for 25 years, and you've been doing a lot of work in this community. Do you want to share about that a little bit? And I know that you just wrote a book. You know, you've been retired now for how long?
This is the beginning of my third year of retirement from Valley Teen Ranch, where I worked for 30 years and led that organization, and that's a group home, foster care, adoption, and transitional living home for delinquent, abused, and vulnerable young people.
Are you sure you're retired, Connie? To me, I don't think you're going to be retiring anytime soon.
Well, I haven't had any staff meetings, any board meetings. I haven't had to plan any events for 2 years now, so I think I'm retired, yes.
Well, tell me a little bit about your personal journey, why you chose that field, and why you're writing your books today.
Well, it's not uncommon for us to want to emulate what we learned from our parents. And I was very blessed to grow up on a rural farm in Michigan with godly parents who loved each other, loved God, and loved the 4 C's, as we call ourselves, Connie, Cliff, Chris, and Carol. This past year, my mother went to heaven. My dad went to heaven 9 years ago. So they're both up there hooping it up. And we will get there eventually, too. But I was very blessed to be raised in a home where there was love and kindness and God and church and food and fun and helping people. Okay. So I always knew I wanted to help people. And also, if you ask my 3 siblings, they would say I always wanted to be the boss. Okay. I'm the firstborn, and I call that a leadership responsibility. Mm-hmm. And so putting those 2 things together included me getting a bachelor's degree in psychology with the hope and anticipation, and eventually I did get my master's degree in social work from Fresno State. And then, but I've always been a person who cared about others. I kind of went for the underdog and wanted to help kids more than, other populations, but young people. And that's what my dad did too. And that's what my mom did too, even though my dad was the director of Youth for Christ. And he opened Teen Ranch in Michigan, which we are a replica of. And my mom was a leader in church, and she became a music teacher, went back to school.
So you have a lot of background with the church, right?
Yes.
Now, my question would be, did you face a lot of challenges while you were doing this?
Doing what? Just living life or Teen Ranch?
When you were running the organization? because it's a very difficult, because Fresno is not Michigan. You know, the mentality is
Yes.
a little bit different, right?
Yes.
So,
But no, I mean, my whole life has been, it's not just that I have faith or am a Christian on Sunday morning from 10 to 12. It's a part of my life. So wherever I am
that's
and
your
whatever
passion.
I'm doing has always including hope, and I call myself a hope dealer,
okay.
and kindness.
So what is that hope dealer? Can you
Yeah,
explain
somebody
that a little
who,
bit?
when the people are down and out or they have made poor choices and their opportunities are limited and they're giving up because they don't know what to do, everything is bad. Oh, how come this happened? How come I was married to that guy? How come I went to that school? You know, things that come up that don't work out. And then people get discouraged and want to quit. So I'm here, and especially at Teen Ranch, where those kids are adjudicated into care, and none of us had a choice on a couple of things. We didn't get to choose who
that's
our
true.
parents
I
were.
know you and I work in that field a long time.
Yes.
We know that.
And we didn't get to choose who our siblings are. We didn't get to choose where we're born. We didn't get to choose the color of our skin, our gender. Those are things we had nothing to do with.
Right.
So we got to deal with what came along.
So now that you are retired, this is your first book, correct?
Yes.
Now, what got you to write this book? It's called Choice.
yes.
I know I've read it. It's excellent. By the way, everybody, if you can get a chance to look at this book, it's easy to read and easy to understand. What got you to write this book, though? What was your vision? What got you into wanting to write this book? How could that reach out to the community and to the people that you're trying to reach to?
Well, another one of my girlfriends, who we've been friends for 30 plus years as well, and she actually was in foster care, not with Valley Teen Ranch, but in Southern California. And she had, you know, like many children in foster care, it's a difficult life. They've been abused, they've been abandoned, they've been neglected, and then they don't get what they want in the foster home, and the foster home says, we can't take you any longer, you need to go somewhere else, and more rejection and more rejection and more failure, and their hope is very, very low. And that was her beginning. But God came into her life in an amazing way when she was about a young teenager and gave her hope. And through her journey, she realized that there's more of a purpose in her life than just saying, oh, I had a bad life, I was in foster care, I'm a nobody.
But
She doesn't say that. And so she encouraged me, and we became friends. And like I said, I was part of her wedding and her daughter's life, and we're friends forever. And we've always said, when we retire, we want to change the world. I said, well, I really don't want to wait till I retire to change the world. I think we're changing the world now. And she got into the insurance business, and specifically for group homes and foster care and adoption agencies such as ours. And so in her journey, she did sell her business eventually that she started. And then she wrote a book. And then she began to talk to people about her book. And now she's encouraging others of us to write a book. So that was the encouragement that I got from her. And another one of my friends wanted to write a book quite a while ago. And I didn't know anything about writing a book, but I knew somebody who used to work at the Fresno Bee, Jerry Gibor. And so I hooked those two guys up, and they helped him write his book. And so I knew he could help me with self-publishing. So he became my editor, and he became the person to help me. You know, you have to get the Library of Congress, and you have to get a number, and you have to, you know, there's certain things that you need to do to get a book published and self-published. So he helped me do that, and it's been a year since it came out. But in that time, several unexpected things happened in my life. Many deaths of family or like family people, like 7 in 2019.
How do you deal with that?
It was very, very difficult. But fortunately, we all have faith. And whether it was my sister-in-law who was 57, or it was my mother who was 93, or it was my grandnephew who was just 2 weeks old.
Okay.
they all had faith. We all have prayer. We all have hope. We all know we believe in heaven and hell.
So in other words, what you're saying is that people with faith usually have more hope even after
I
death.
believe so.
I really
yes.
believe that too, and this is part of the reason why a lot of people are very fearful to talk about death, and it's just so many negative stuff that's just going around the world. So the people that have hope, right, needs to come to this station and bring the message of hope when they come to my talk show. And I'm hoping that what you're saying right now will encourage a lot of people to come out, because a lot of time people are not utilizing their freedom of speech anymore these days. They just want to go with the flow. We're being challenged quite a bit in today's life. Don't you agree?
Yes, we are. And that's why the rock, my foundation, is faith in Jesus.
Amen.
God.
Yes.
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And no matter what struggle or disappointment or disaster or death happens in my life, and it's inevitable, stuff happens. Nobody gets out of this without having problems and challenges. I know, bottom line, get to the point that God is going to continue to get me through it. And He has, He is, and He will continue to. And I want to spread that kind of hope that I have chosen to other people, if they want to choose it. I am not an evangelist. I am not a forceful person to get down on your knees and you accept Jesus because you're going to hell. I'm not like that. That's not my style. And I don't know that that's the most effective method anyhow.
One of the things that I enjoy being your friend, we've been friends for so long, actually your sister in Christ, is because I come from a country, right? I don't have that freedom to speak my mind. If I was in my own country, most probably I'll be in prison by now. Okay? But when I met you, when I came to the United States, I don't meet a lot of people like you who are very open, compassionate, and to actually utilizing the freedom that the United States have given us. And I felt very comfortable with you. We never have to pretend with one another.
Right.
Especially with women, right?
Yes.
We always tell the truth to one another.
Yes.
And that's why I invited you for my first talk show. Let's continue with this in a minute. Let's go to, let's take a little break, and then we will be right back with Connie Clendenan. Thank you.
Highlights, balayage, color, extensions, cuts, pure Brazilian blowouts, treatments. Contact Jordan Myers at Hair by Jordan.
Did you know most hair and beauty salons in the Central Valley are not disposing of their chemicals correctly? Partner with us today to become an eco-friendly salon. Visit us online at greenbeautywaste.com. Our phone number is 559-367-7206. And be sure to visit us on Instagram and Facebook at Green Beauty Waste. When you need to get fit, contact Gary Torres, IFBB Pro, specializing in weight loss, body transformations, and contest prep. Email Gary Torres 5336@yahoo.com.
Hey, I'm Chris DeVold. Tune in every Friday night on CentralValleyTalk.com when I bring you Sex, Drugs, Chris DeVold, where I'll give you 3 guesses on what we talk about. And I also vow to bring you 1 live local music act a week. So tune in every week, because you never know what kind of music you're going to hear right here on CentralValleyTalk.com.
The Space Colony Journals are an epic tale of a family's struggle to survive. Meet the courageous women and dangerous men who dare to carve a home on the alien world of Vensug. Get your copy today. Available on Amazon and Gail Daly's FineArt.com.
You enter this door with expired tags. Beyond is another dimension, a dimension of regulations, a dimension of long waits. You have reached the registration zone. What looks like an ordinary shop is actually Mitchell's Smog, located in the heart of the Tower District, a few minutes from the DMV. Mitchell's Smog offers your vehicle a STAR-certified smog inspection. So remember Mitchell's Smog when you need to pass through the registration zone.
Contact Sarah Hernandez of June and Matt Photography to schedule your portrait, engagement, wedding, or next family photo session. But that's not all. Sarah is also your personal brandographer, helping you ditch the stock photos and get images that sell. Call 559-412-3721. Visit JuneandMattPhoto.com and follow Sarah on Instagram and Facebook.
Hello everyone, my name is Miss G. I offer fun and affordable promotion and advertisement on my talk show. It is called Fresno Vibes. We talk, we play.
Welcome everyone. Thank you for coming back to the show as we continue our conversation with Connie Clendenan, the author of Choice. Okay, Connie, let's continue with our information about your book now. Let me ask you about the details of that book. I know I read it. It's really so easy to read and so easy to understand. But at the same time, I'm sure you know in every situation there's always going to be critics. Right, people who's going to say this or say that. You know, we live in a world that people have a tendency to judge before they actually see what's going on. So what would you say some of the challenges that you had when you were writing this book?
Actually, Choices was not difficult for me to write. It was about things that I've lived in my life since I was a little girl, and I was taught. And I implemented it with our staff and the young people that we worked with at Valley
Beautiful.
Teen Ranch for all those years.
So you keep it real.
Yeah, I keep it real. And it's really written for anybody from age 10 to 100.
That's beautiful.
Because
exactly.
it's how to improve your relationships.
That's what I want you to explain so that you can explain to them chapter per chapter why you go in that, sequence.
Okay, so it's choices and how our choices affect our relationships, which in turn affects our life. And so the first chapter is the to-dos. And the first thing to help making our relationships work, whether it's at home or at work or in our neighborhood or church or wherever it is to show up on time. If you say you're going to be here at 11:30, I'm here at 11:45. If you say you're going to be, it starts at 8, you're going to be there right on time.
But don't you think that is so powerful if every young person is listening right now? Because isn't that the first training that you have to do when you apply for a job and going to school? Isn't that the first thing that you need to learn? Don't you think that's lacking a lot right now in the families?
But it shows when we do show up on time, it shows you that we're responsible, we're respectful of others, our word is good, they will begin to trust us. And really, in our relationships, we need trust. And so that's one of the very first things in the to-dos, a behavioral choice that we make that shows you that I respect you, I trust you. Like today, you said be here at 11:30. I was here at 11:15, and I was ready to go and do whatever we're going to do.
It's true.
If I would have come here at 12 o'clock, you would have been calling, where are you? What's wrong with you? How come? I told me, blah, blah, blah. Then our relationship would have taken a hit.
Yes, that's true.
So the first thing is to show up on time. The second thing on our to-dos is to tell the truth. And
now, that's a tough one.
It sounds
what
like
is truth?
Common sense. Yeah, my truth, your truth, God's truth. The president's truth. Whose truth? Who's telling what's right and what's true and what's good? Well, I can only be responsible for me. I can't be responsible for the whole world. I can be responsible for me, and my word is good. And for 30 years, I led Valley Teen Ranch with integrity, which starts with telling the truth.
But don't you agree, at the end of the day, if we were to leave this earth right now, we're going to have to face the Maker, right?
Yes.
With the truth.
Yes.
And the only truth we have is ourselves, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, my goodness. That is excellent.
Yeah.
Yes.
So show up on time, tell the truth. Next, it's do your best. None of us are perfect. We can't be all things to all people all the time. We can't. It's impossible.
That's right.
But we can do our best in whatever choices that we have to make every single day. Whether that's getting dressed, brushing our teeth, making your bed, putting gas in your car before you run out, things that we can do to
Common sense.
yeah, it is
Practical thing.
It is practical and
That's
it's
why
common
you're
sense,
here. Get to the
but
point.
lots of people don't do that,
Right.
and that makes a
Isn't
hit
that
on
sad?
relationships.
Okay.
Then the fourth thing is to ask for help. Chapter 4
my
is
goodness.
key, and that's where many of us fall short. I can do it myself. I don't need any help. And I mean, we learn that from a little baby. Do you learn to say thank you first? No, me, mine, self. Those are things you learn from a little
Don't you
tiny
think
baby.
that we're living in an environment these days that we're so easily offended
yeah,
and
that too.
prideful?
Uh-huh.
And I'm hoping that the show, that's why I started off with you, because I'm comfortable with you, right?
Yes.
Is to get to the point. No one is going to judge you. You can agree to disagree, but
Yes.
we can be respectful like brothers and sisters. And this is very good what you're saying right now. I'm getting excited now. Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay, so that's the first half of the book. First four chapters. Then the second 4 chapters are the how-tos. How do we do those things? And that is my favorite, 4 of my favorite 4-letter words. I have quite a few of them, but
Okay.
I just picked 4.
Okay.
And the first one is WORK, work. You got to work. You can't just be sitting at home waiting for somebody to send you a check, the government or your mother or your grandmother. No, you have to be responsible and get out there and find a job. And there are jobs for everybody. I cleaned houses to get myself through grad school. I washed windows to get the second part of grad school. You can do a job if you work and you put your mind to it and you do it good. So the first
Don't you
thing
think
is
we're living in an environment right now of entitlement?
kind of.
Especially in California.
Some
I'm just
are.
saying it the way it is, and if somebody out there is a little bit offended, I'm so sorry, but I'm not apologizing because that is the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God, and this is what it's all about. We're living in a world of entitlement lately. So we need to really change that mindset for a lot of our young people, what you're just saying right now.
Yes, and make a choice to get
That's
a
right.
job and be prepared. And then the second 4-letter word after work is obey, O-B-E-Y.
Obedience, you mean?
Yes. And I don't have to agree, but whoever is my boss, whoever is over me, God, other people, you're always going to have a boss down here, not
You're
just
gonna have-
God. You got to first obey God. And he left us 10 rules
In
to
other
start
words, with our faith, maybe there are people who are listening right now may not be of our faith. I'm sure with other faith, they also have to believe in their God to be obedient.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yes.
obedience is very important.
Yes. And don't waffle. Don't change your mind. Do what's right and stick with it. So work, obey, and then love. And if I was talking to kids right now, I would say that's not to be compared with sex, because a lot of kids get confused on love and
Yes.
sex. And
With today's media,
Yes.
social media, boy, they are very confused about love. Maybe
Yes.
one of these days you may want to come back and we can sort of talk about it, right? The
Okay.
different types of love. Because, with the social media and all this modern family and everything else that's been exposed out there, I don't think it's really helping a lot of our young people. That's my opinion, because this is get to the point, so I'm going to tell the truth how I feel about it. If anybody else is not in agreement with me, I'm just hoping that they'll be respectful enough to come to my show and let's talk about our disagreement in a very respectful way, like
Yes.
adults.
Yes. So love, and then the fourth one is pray. And some people think praying is, talking in a funny language or talking in a funny voice or being on your knees or being in a closet or, wherever. People have some different ideas of what it is to pray. And praying is just talking to God, just like we're talking to each other. He made us. He understands us. He knows what we're about. And he wants to have a relationship with us. So how can you have a relationship if you don't
So you're
talk?
talking about agape love, right?
Yes. And
That's
then
awesome.
so those 4 things, work, obey, love, and pray. Those are ingredients that if you can incorporate those into your life every single day, in your relationships with people that you come in contact with, I can guarantee that your life and your relationships will be more significant, more long-lasting, sustainable, and more significant.
Now, I'm going to have a challenging question.
Okay.
since we're both good friends,
Yes.
there are going to be audience out there,
Yes.
and they might think this is just a conversation because you're a Christian woman, I'm a Christian woman. They might think that we're just in agreement because we believe in the same God, we believe in the same Jesus, right? And there's going to be people out there that's going to say, that's not get to the point, right? They're going to be people challenging us because we have the same faith and say, well, this book is not for me. How would you let them know that we're not here to separate religion? It's not even about religion. How would you explain that to them?
I would,
There will be
I
people
would
out
ask
there.
questions. I always ask questions because nobody likes to be told what to do, especially with that finger pointing
Right.
and like that. Nobody likes that method. That's not my style either. I would ask questions. What do you want to have happen in your life? Where are you going? What is your plan? What's working for you? What's not working for you? And help them to come to their own conclusion. And most people want the same things.
And
we
I'm-
all want to
yeah.
be loved. We all want people to be kind.
There
We
you
all want to
go.
be a
Yes.
somebody. We don't want to be a nobody. We all want to have a house, a roof over our head, and burgers and fries. We want all those things. That's stuff. But really, it's about a relationship. And that relationship is built on trust and respect and honesty. And if I can incorporate
Isn't that another
those
common
into,
sense too? Those
well,
are all
it
common
is,
sense,
but
right?
how
If we
many
don't bring it-
people are doing it like that?
Well, I don't think they're utilizing a lot of common sense. Hopefully, that people who are listening to this show is going to be coming out more comfortable in being themselves. That's God's given thing, to be comfortable of who they are. It doesn't matter what they want to say as long as they speak it from their heart. Don't you
Yeah,
think
to
that
tell
that's
the
really
truth.
the
Yes,
truth?
it
and
is.
nothing but the truth, so help me God?
Yes.
Yeah, it just happens that our God is Jesus Christ. They may have other gods, which I don't have a problem with that. That's why we have this show, because before you can go in and hating somebody or hating whatever it is, right? Don't you think we need to understand each other first?
Yes,
and communicate
absolutely.
so love can grow in this world?
And like I always say at Valley Teen Ranch, acceptance is the answer to each day's problems.
That's right. Not to
So-
be judgmental.
No.
So this book, I really would like to recommend a lot of people if you have the time to check it in. And Connie has her information. Now, Connie, how do they get a hold of you? How can they order this book?
They can order it on Amazon. It's on Kindle. It's $10. Or you can see me. You can go on my website, and I believe it's on the screen right now.
Can you just say it too? please?
It's ConnieClendenan.com is my website, and my email address is crc1250@comcast.net. And I live here in Fresno, and I plan to stay here in Fresno, and I'm happy to come and speak to any groups, whether it's kids groups, whether it's elders, whether it's parents, couples, young couples. I am happy and available to come and speak to your groups too, because I'm a hope dealer, and I feel like I have a message. Even though I'm retired, I'm not dead. I still want to share with my life and my solutions or my thoughts or my prescription. That's what I call this, a prescription.
Excellent. Well, Connie, thank you for coming here.
You're
and I'm sure I'll be
welcome.
seeing you again with different
Yes.
topics to talk about.
Yes.
That is awesome. So everyone, you already got the information over there. Get the contact with Connie and get this book. I encourage you to get this book. It's easy to read. Like she said, it's good for even 10-year-old up to 100 if we can live that long, God willing. So we'll be right back. Thank you.
Are you thinking of selling your home? Since 2004, the Souza Group, brokered by eXp Realty, has specialized in premier property listings and sales located in the Clovis Unified and North Fresno markets. The Souza Group will do their best to exceed your expectations. Visit ClovisUnifiedHomes.com.
If your home floods, who will you call? When your house springs a leak, it's time to call Clean Master Emergency Flood Service at 559-213-9430. Clean Master will be there in 60 minutes to start fixing your home. And Clean Master bills your insurance directly, saving you the hassle because you've got enough to worry about. Clean Master also offers carpet and upholstery cleaning, carpet repair, pet odor removal, and more. Remember, Clean Master Emergency Flood Service. 559-213-9430 and visit cleanmasterflood.com.
Pour yourself a glass of Crybaby wine available at the market and Sam's Italian Deli. And remember to ask for Crybaby wine at your favorite restaurant.
Forget about the higher good of food, right? You're growing a product that people enjoy really all over the world. I mean, how does that make you feel?
I think about that all the time. I think about the families sitting around a table, enjoying a meal. I just see that what we do brings families together.
I mean, we're blessed. We're in paradise for food.
The Kern family of the Kern Family Farm invites you to eat delicious, nutritious, organic produce available at the Gnarly Carrot, located at 32954 Road 222 in North Fork, California. The Gnarly Carrot is a local, natural, seasonally changing market, offering a wide range of products from local Central Valley vendors. Get your caffeine fix, grab a smoothie, and support small businesses. Learn more at kernfamilyfarm.com and visit the Gnarly Carrot today. Doctor in Sukasa allows you to connect with your doctor when you need a quick treatment. Avoid a trip to a medical clinic or emergency room and connect by video with your doctor from your home, work, or anywhere. Just go to drinsukasa.com on your phone, tablet, or computer. Dr. in Sukasa provides quality care that is convenient, bilingual, and affordable, so you are never left without access to health care. Visit drinsukasa.com today.
Hi everyone, I am Sparkle Sujin with the Everything Sparkle Show. Tune in every Thursday live at 4 p.m. You will see people that are motivational, inspirational, inspiring, and of course, entertaining. We have a great time. We learn things about how big celebrities are inspiring big names here in Fresno. Hugh Hefner is the reason we have Fresno Magazine, and Gnarly Charlie got his start because Johnny Carson told him to. So, tune in, you'll learn something new, and have a good time.
Visit the beautiful city of Exeter and visit ExeterChamber.com. The Chamber's mission is to promote, support, and enable Exeter to prosper, creating a strong local economy, promoting community, and providing networking opportunities. Follow the Chamber on Facebook and Twitter, or give the Chamber a call at 559-592-2919.
Call Peachy's Catering for all your special occasions. Available to cook any variety of foods and desserts that will leave your taste buds wanting more. Call 559-558-2682 and follow Peachy's on Instagram and Facebook.
Is everything in life draining you? Come to Stretch 360. Our professional staff can offer you many options for relaxation like deep tissue or hot stone massages, infrared medical grade sauna. Once you leave us, you'll look and feel like $1,000,000. Stretch 360. Relaxation is only a stretch away.
Call Nicole Hamilton McManus at 559-917-3040 to buy this perfect, romantic, rustic ranch with a two-home setup. Located only 12 miles from the entrance to Kings Canyon and Sequoia National Parks. This beautifully maintained property boasts of amenities and custom features. The main home is a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,670 square feet. The guest home is 2 bedrooms.
Welcome back, everyone. Again, this is Susan Bechara with my first show, Get to the Point, and my next guests are very special people in my life, Leonard and Cecelia Lingenfelter. This couple had changed my life to be the woman that I am today, and I'm going to let them share with you the journey they've taken. So please welcome Leonard and Cecelia Lingenfelter. Hello, Leonard. Hi, Cecelia.
Hello.
It's so nice to have you both here today. So basically, this show, I just wanted them to get to know the ministry that you've been doing for how many years now, Cecelia?
44 years.
44 years. And how old are you now?
88.
And you, Leonard?
91.
91. And let me tell you, this couple is still ministering up to this day at the church, and they're still out there. And Cecelia has been speakers for many organizations also. So I'm just going to let them tell us a little bit about their lives and what got them to be doing this so much and so passionately in love with the Lord. So Leonard and Cecelia, either one of you can tell us where how your journey began. What makes you so passionately in love with Jesus?
Well, I've always known Jesus, and I always say I've been a good Christian all my life, but I hadn't met the Master. I knew Jesus, and I knew God the Father, but I didn't know the Holy Spirit. But I've always been kind of a loner, because I was left without a mom when I was 6 years old, and I came to Fresno and was in a, not a foster home, in a room and board home. And I went to schools nearby, but I've always been like a leader, wanting, when I want something, I would go for it, not knowing I was going for it. And so when we met the Master in 1975, I knew I wanted more. And I'm the type, if I want more, I go for it.
Well, I was going to church as a family man, and I loved the Lord, but excuse me, I didn't know that I was missing much. I just knew that I was bored, and I started watching TV, and I saw the evangelists, and they talked about various things, and I thought, that's weird. We don't do any of that in our church hardly, and I don't understand really where they're coming from, but I kept watching, and she didn't like that right then, but later on she did. And it became an interest to me, and I decided to wake me up. I thought, well, I'm really bored, so I'm going to see what there is around. And eventually we got to meet right people and got to go to prayer meetings and various things like that. And Jesus got his way. He got his way.
The beautiful thing about this couple that really changed my life, I grew up as a Buddhist in my country, and I never really had a relationship with Jesus Christ. I was raised Catholic later on, but I really wasn't connected to my faith either, to the church that I was going to. But when I joined them in the early 80s, something touched my heart, and this is why I invited them here today about the leadership they're taking from the church right now. It's called the charismatic movement. Maybe a lot of people may not understand it. Maybe they have a misconception about charismatic movement. And it's really amazing how one's life could change once they receive the power of the Holy Spirit. And that is why I invited Leonard and Cecelia to come here to explain a little bit about the movement, what it means to be charismatic Christian. A lot of people divides religion, even though all of us in here that is sitting here goes to the same church, it's the Catholic Church. But in this program, we're not talking about church or religion. We're talking about Christ himself. So I just wanted to ask them to share a little bit what that movement means and what is charismatic and what do you mean by moving in the power of the Holy Spirit.
You want to start?
Go ahead.
Well, the things that startled me about what you call the charismatic movement was the fact that we had to have a name. We shouldn't have a name because all you're doing is trying to follow what the Bible has to say, what God's word has to say. And it seems so weird that they had to put some group into a certain area. and call them that, because you're just following Christ and the best you can, as St. Paul said. St. Paul said, desire the gifts. St. Paul said, for me to live is Christ. And it doesn't call for a certain name, for a certain group. It just calls for following Christ. And it's interesting that we still try to put people in a certain area, in certain areas, even though they're just following Christ. Now, maybe they're not doing all the things that we like in a way, but still, the things are there. The power is there. The love is there. It should be there. It's got to be there. The love's got to be there. But we've got to get away from this, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. You can go pick your place where you want to worship, but not I'm better or I'm different than you because that's the way I want to be. And it's sad.
But Leonard, let me ask you a question. Maybe Cecelia could answer this. But don't you think we're living in a world today, especially in America, because we have so much freedom where we want to worship and all that? I felt personally myself, it's more divided than ever. And if someone right now is listening, okay, to this program, what if they say, well, I'm not a Christian. Does that mean that I cannot go and join you guys and find out about what you guys are doing as far as charismatic is?
It's open to everyone. Jesus is the same, whatever religion you belong to. Jesus is there. And he chooses us, certain people, to lead and to have the courage to go to do the things that you need to do. One of my favorite scriptures is, he chooses the foolish to confound the wise. You need education, but you don't have to be a college graduate to just follow Jesus and know that the Holy Spirit is real. There's another scripture that says, Jesus, in Acts 1, he says, don't go out of the city till the power from on high comes. That meant the Holy Spirit. And he's touched us with the power, the baptism of the Holy Spirit, as we call it in our church. The power comes, and you just, you love more, you read the word more, you just have more compassion for people. You're not perfect people yourselves, but he gives you that love for people. And that's what I seek every day, is to love him more, to serve him more, to see more, to feel love. Because I was brought up in a sterile world. I had a good life, but it wasn't my life. It was somebody else's. So I was always obedient to what God wanted.
So if there are people out there right now listening and they're really lost, and there's so many churches, so many groups, so many Bible studies out there, and they're seeking to find a place where they feel they need to receive that love, and they don't understand Jesus too much. What would you say is the best way to reach out to the God that we worship, and they're really seeking? Because there's a lot of lost people out there, that are seeking for that perfect love, and the world is not giving that to them. How can this charismatic movement be different?
The love that goes with it. People need love, no matter where they've come from, what's happened to them, no matter what they've been through in the past. Your open arms is so awesome, because that love that comes through you will touch other people. We have experiences of a woman came, and she hadn't been in the church in years and years and years. And I just went over to her and I said hi. And I could tell she was in pain, not physically, but mentally. And I hugged her, and she began to weep in my arms. And that's the awesome part, is the love that you get when you follow the charismatic movement. It can be any movement, knowing Jesus more and knowing the Holy Spirit more.
St. Paul said the gifts are to build up the body of Christ. And they are. But without love, he said, they're nothing. He said love is the request, the prime way you have to go. You have to go. But if you don't love one another, Jesus said, love one another as I have loved you. Be kind to one another. Be gentle with one another. Be caring about one another. And this world today, like Susan's pointing at, is so sorry to each other, so pushy to each other, so hard on each other. They won't tolerate one another. They don't love one another very much because they keep saying, this can't be, this can't be. And Jesus said, be kind to one another. Be good to one another. Be gentle with one another.
So, this is a big task to do if you look at it that way. One thing that I can share with the audience today, my life changed because I'm never really very religious. I've been baptized Catholic. I was raised Buddhist. One of the things that really amazed me of joining this movement, and I will tell you this, is that it's not because of the Catholic Church at all. It's because of this couple. The way they approach me with a lot of love and compassion, that's what attracts me a lot. And I think what they're saying here is about the love that's missing in our society today. It's not so much just any type of love. We have this movement in the 60s where all the hippies were. It's also all we need is love. But that is so deceiving. I think the love that we need to be focusing on today, that's why I brought them here, they've lived the life, is that some of you that may be listening out there, a lot of our young people are very confused about this love. Maybe they can learn from what they're saying in here when I brought them in here. That's why I sort of asked them some challenging questions. If people come from another religion and they're looking for that perfect love, how are they going to explain that Jesus' love is more better than whatever their faith is? One thing I do learn is that the God that I worship, he actually died for me, and that's amazing. But, well, you out there, you can have your own opinion. You don't have to be offended. If you disagree with me, what I'm sharing here, please contact me and come to my show so we can get together to agree to disagree, but at least bring the message of love in the right way. So let's continue in a minute. Thank you very much.
Bath with 1,163 square feet. Also features a 75-foot lap pool, a cabana, a beautiful garden, and 2 small nearby ponds. Call Nicole Hamilton McManus at 559-917-3040. The Art of Becoming Who We Are in Christ by Jolene Kennedy is a book about the process of maturity as we find our true identity, since God's promises must be received, embraced, and activated within us. Get your copy today and check out JoleneKennedy.com. Fleet Feet Fresno is more than just a running and sportswear store. Fleet Feet Sports' mission is to provide runners and other active Fresnans with gear that fits their individual needs, training that helps them reach their fitness goals, and races that satisfy their competitive spirit. Get to know Fleet Feet Fresno today. Highlights, balayage, color, extensions, cuts, pure Brazilian blowouts, treatments. Contact Jordan Myers at Hair by Jordan. Did you know most hair and beauty salons in the Central Valley are not disposing of their chemicals correctly? Partner with us today to become an eco-friendly salon. Visit us online at greenbeautywaste.com. Our phone number is 559-367-7206. And be sure to visit us on Instagram and Facebook at Green Beauty Waste. When you need to get fit, contact Gary Torres, IFBB Pro, specializing in weight loss, body transformations, and contest prep. Email Gary Torres 5336@yahoo.com.
Hey, I'm Chris DeVold. Tune in every Friday night on CentralValleyTalk.com when I bring you Sex, Drugs, Chris DeVold, where I'll give you 3 guesses on what we talk about. And I also vow to bring you 1 live local music.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're enjoying this show with my guest today, with Leonard and Cecelia Lingenfelter. Well, my question would be now, as we continue this conversation, we live in America, a nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We also have our First Amendment that speaks clearly, freedom of speech. But personally, myself, I've noticed lately, within the last 2-3 years, that speech has been sort of dented. It's almost like people are more fearful to talk about the faith we're talking about. How do you explain that?
We've been trying to put God down to our size for a long time. We started with one of the main things was no prayer in school. You can't have this kind of a sign. You can't have a cross here. You can't have the nativity scene here. And we're working hard. We've worked hard in some of us, at trying to negate the God that loves us. And it's hurting us a lot. And it's showing that we can get rid of him pretty much if we want to. God says, love me or leave me, it's your choice. But God loves us, and he keeps holding on to us because we're still the main area in the world that loves him and works for him. There's others, a lot of them in other places that are doing that too, but we're still his mainstay. And God wants us to keep the mainstay. But we're working, it's so interesting how we keep saying, in a sense, there is no God. And God is not going to buy that.
You know, in the country where I grew up, and I still have families out there, persecution of Christians are very real. But do you not agree that persecution of Christians in our country is more cruel because it's more of mental persecution, not physical?
I would think it's the same, because the mental has a lot to do with it, but the physical, you really have to know Jesus when you get touched and harassed by people. Mental, you could probably handle a little bit more than the physical, because if you're going to have the physical, you better know Jesus really well.
Now, how do you bring healing with our government, with our local officials, even officials in Washington, when it comes to faith and religion? Because it seems to me, that is my personal opinion, that there's more division now than ever.
I'm not the politician. Leonard is. I'll let him answer that.
Well, it's very interesting that we are so divided. It's not just like you love God and I love God, but your God's no good. I don't like the way he goes. I don't know what. Well, we've got issues that just stand right in front of us. We got abortion. We've killed over 50 million babies, 58 or something like that, in the name of freedom. And we've got people that say, I can marry Jim, you can marry Helen. And God is not agreeing to that. God's word doesn't say, I can do that. But we're showing him that we have our own ways.
Now, as a Christian, some of them out there that are not in agreement with what you're saying, they're going to say, I thought you said God is a loving God. Why can't he love me, what I'm doing?
God loves them. But he loves me when I'm in deep trouble, when I'm in deep rebellion. He still loves me. But he's not agreeing with me. He's not saying, go ahead. I'll handle you. You're all right. No, he's saying, tell me you're sorry, and let's start over. Tell me you're sorry, and we'll start over. Because God's love is there.
Do you believe then in that case, we are technically a Christian nation, but our young people are now sort of not really going to church much, right? Because they felt that a lot of us are very judgmental. They're into this modern lifestyle, living together, transgender, gender relationship, abortion and all that. I would have one question that is really going to be pretty much a challenge to many people. the abortion issue. In our nation, we aborted a lot of babies. I am a pro-life person, but here's my question, because just so you don't think that I'm judging, because I've had abortion in my life, and I'm not ashamed to share this with all of you, so I know what I'm talking about. So my question would be, in a nation like this, if someone were to kill a woman that is pregnant, they could be sentenced for double homicide. That means they consider the baby in the womb as a human being. But my question would be, I hope somebody can answer this, how is it then when a woman chose to kill her own baby in the womb is okay? So that is just a question I want to know. What is the difference of a person killing a woman who is pregnant is considered double homicide because they see the child as human, but then abortion, the child is not quite human yet. So that is something maybe someone can come here and talk to me about that and clarify that. Because at this point, I am confused how we can define the child in the womb. 1 minute, the child is human, and another time when a woman chooses not to want to keep the baby, they're not quite human yet. So that's going to be a difficult challenge, and I hope anyone who's listening to this show will not get offended. Again, this is why we have this station called Get to the Point, so I can hear your understanding of it and clarify it to me so we can have that discussion. We can agree to disagree. This is a free country. We have our First Amendment. We don't have to get violent with one another because at the end of the day, we're still a nation under God. So, Leonard and Cecelia, one final question. If someone who is listening right now would like to get a hold of you and maybe want to join the movement, okay, how would they reach you?
See, I don't call it a movement. I call it a day-by-day walking with Jesus Christ. We love people, and they can get a hold of us. We have a service every Thursday night at 7:30 at Sacred Heart in the building behind the church. Then we were allowed to have a Mass where we pray for people after the Mass, which is 1 p.m. on Sundays. Every Sunday we're there. And fallen, you need help, come Sundays or at 1 o'clock or Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. And we've been doing this for 40 years. And I just love people. I love them more than anything you can imagine because I didn't have that love myself.
Thank you very much. And so what could be a better way of having it close with a prayer? And I'm sure everyone will not reject to that. Even if you choose not to pray with us, we are free to pray for you. So, Leonard and Cecelia, could you lead us to a short prayer when we close this station right now?
Go ahead.
Sure. Lord God, we're so glad that, we live in a country where we can pray and not fear, where we can love one another and not fear. But Lord, show us the way to be kind to one another, to be good to one another, to be gentle to one another. And Lord, show us that you are the God of forgiveness, the God that will take us back and take us back and take us back. And Lord, you're the one that says, if we get your Holy Spirit, we ask for it, you will give it to us. And we can receive what you called the baptism of the Holy Spirit. We thank you, Lord, for that. We receive that in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Well, thank you so much, both of you, for coming here and blessing my talk show for the first time that I'm having here. So any one of you that have been listening to this first talk show, Get to the Point, please don't hesitate to contact me. I think my information is down there, or you can reach me by contacting Central Valley Talk Show. Our show is every Monday at noon. And if you would like to be a guest in my show, please contact me by contacting Central Valley Talk Show, or you can reach me by calling me at 559-349-6125, or you can email me at sbechara@cbsfresno.org. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, this is Get to the Point, tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Amen.
Amen.